everyone. It's been a long time. I have missed you. I wasn't sure whether to go live or not, but I think I'm just going to start this series. Just start it because it needs to be done. Back in the day, we did the Key to Theosophy book studies. We voiced Voice of the Silence. That's available for you on this channel. Also Light on the Path, and the 14 lessons in yogi philosophy and oriental occultism. All of this, the ancient teachings for a modern world. As a former broadcaster, I wish to lend my voice to something more purposeful. I am also a student of these ancient teachings. And I really have found something that I have to say, to me, this is the secret teachings of all ages for the new millennium. So you'll see me working a lot from this text. It is a 4-volume, 1,000-page book called Unfolding Consciousness, Exploring the Living Universe and Intelligent Powers in Nature and Humans. This is written down by Dr. Edi Bilimoria. You'll hear me talk about him a lot. I met him after I had him as a guest on this channel and just absolutely fell in love with his ethos. He's humble. He's incredibly intelligent. He is a dedicated student of the perennial philosophy and has been for the last 50 years. And he has put this together, compiled this, and synthesized this. So I thought, well, we could do these little things. I thought, no, let's just start from the beginning. I'm just going to share little bits of this book, and we're going to go through the book together. Okay? So we're going to start with book 1 and just start there. So let's begin this book study, book read. And if you have any questions, please put them down below. I hope to get some software so I can do interactive things with these phenomenal graphs and illustrations within the books. But we have to start somewhere. And I've been making it far too complicated. So let's get started, shall we? Science has been triumphant in understanding the material universe and applying the laws of nature in the development of new technologies for humanity's benefit. But it has achieved this at the price of neglecting other equally important areas, such as mental and spiritual experience. There is a now dawning realization, as evidenced by the emergence of the post-materialist science movement, that science must expand beyond the material domain. One needs a new paradigm, and a key feature of this must be the realization that consciousness is a fundamental rather than incidental feature of the universe. The unique achievement of this work is to put this endeavor in a proper conceptual and historical context. For a while, the search for an expanded paradigm might be viewed as a recent development. It is also the basis of esoteric traditions, in particular, the perennial philosophy. Now, perennial means eternal, unending, the always there. It's never changing, it's always there, perennial philosophy. And occult sciences, which go back 1,000 years and stem from a variety of both Eastern and Western cultures. Many books have focused on extending science toward perennial philosophy, but without making a link with the occult sciences. Other books have focused on occult sciences without making a link with modern science. They are therefore like two outstretched hands which do not quite connect. This work completes the connection, rather like the two hands in the famous picture by Michelangelo. This is a magnum opus in every sense of the word. For 1,000 pages, it's 1,000 pages long, spread over 3 volumes, and not just about the link between traditional and esoteric science. They are also about the many connections between the worlds of matter, mind, and spirit. While everyone has a foot in all 3 worlds, most of us are mainly drawn to just one because success in life, be it on the scientific, artistic, or mystical fronts, usually requires narrowly focused dedication. However, a full understanding of the universe must embrace all 3 worlds, and Edi Bilimoria is one of the few people with the breadth of vision and width of knowledge required to expound on this. The result is a work which will surely play a vital role in bridging the chasms between matter, mind, and spirit. And that is written by Bernard Carr, Emeritus Professor of Mathematics and Astronomy, Queen Mary University of London, and president of the Scientific and Medical Network. We're starting at the very beginning. These are just the folks talking about what we're going to be talking about Edi's book. This work represents a comprehensive, lucid, and well-written overview with careful attention to detail and yet full of far-ranging and potentially transformative ideas. Rupert Sheldrake, PhD, biologist, and author of The Science Delusion. It is refreshing to read a masterly study of consciousness written by an author who roots his arguments in a profound grasp of esoteric wisdom. It is not simply that such wisdom conveys profound insights for understanding the essence of consciousness. Of far greater importance is the skill that Edi Bilimoria brings in clarifying our place in the vast panorama of which we are a part. There is nothing more pressing in our day than this challenge for us to act in synergy with the planet. Important! We need to work with nature, work in harmony with nature. And, in more esoteric terms, the macrocosm. Bilimoria shows that the ancient axiom that man is the measure of all things can be revitalized in the context of contemporary science. And he brings an encyclopedic grasp of modern physics, neuroscience, and psychology to support his supremely optimistic view that consciousness is fundamental to reality. This is an insight whose time has come, and Bilimoria shows himself to be a diligent and creative guide to what a post-materialist understanding of consciousness will mean for us all. That is from B. Les Lancaster, Professor Emeritus of Transpersonal Psychology, Liverpool, John Moores University, and Director of the Aleph Trust. And we'll do one more here on Unfolding Consciousness before we begin. Unfolding Consciousness is a remarkable tour de force through spiritual meanders of esoteric traditions from East and West and their dialogue with modern science. It is as fascinatingly provocative as it is informative, and it will equally challenge the scientist, the philosopher, and the artist. In contemporary, unpretentious language, we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it all here. It takes the reader from the spiritual mission of humanity to the principles of the universe and back, with careful consideration of both scientific evidence and metaphysical subtleties. And underneath it all, it seeks the traces of consciousness in all its forms, just like its main theme, ourselves and our rapport with the universe. This is not an easy work, nor should it be, but it is an important work, which is worth taking the time to engage with. And that is from Dr. Anna Maria Pascal. She's the Director of Liberal Arts Programs, an Associate Professor in Philosophy and Public Ethics, Provost's Group, Regent's University, London. So I just wanted to open with the commentary starting from the very first page in the very first book of Unfolding Consciousness. We can do some lives where you are here live and we study together. It's quite a journey. We have 1,000 pages to go through. And Edi has given me a little bit of leeway that I can translate to the best of my understanding, because I'm simply a student on the path as well. Edi has been studying for 50 years. That's half a century. I've been studying for maybe 15 at the most as a serious student. But we are all students of this ancient teaching. It is found in the commonalities of all the world's sciences, religions, and philosophies. When we look at their similarities, we can see these teachings coming through. And when we take responsibility and we begin to become these teachings, not just study them once a week in our Sunday best, but become them, Edi has put them together in a way that I believe will benefit all of mankind. And that's what we're here to do. So this is the very first book study in Unfolding Consciousness here on the Voice of Compassion channel. So stick around for more. Thank you for being here. I love you, and I'll see you soon.